Švyturys Amber Lager Beer.
And remember, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This is yet another one from Lithuania, and it is the Švyturys, I think that's how it's pronounced, Amber Beer. Now, this is called Amber Beer, presumably for the UK market. In Lithuania, this would be known as Švyturys, which is Lithuanian for amber. And it's a Pilsner. It doesn't say it on here, it just says lager, but that is the style according to the brewers. Now, this is a bit of a strange one. When this first came out, there was a big uproar. A lot of people in Lithuania thought that they were having the piss taken out of them, basically, because they've diluted beer. They were used to darker beer, and they basically rejected it. So they had to darken the beer. And it eventually ended up this colour. So obviously this is not an original recipe. It has gone through several changes. Now, I've had a few Lithuanian beers. I've had another one from this brewery as well. And to be honest, they're a bit underwhelming. I'm not blown away by them at all. However, I'm not going to judge all Lithuanian beer on these ones that I've got from the shop round the corner, because, well, I'd imagine that these are the most widely available beers in Lithuania, and that's why they brought them over here, because obviously there is a bit of a Lithuanian community over in the UK, and they obviously want to sell them beers. So, for example, if you want an analogy, if there was a big, I don't know, say British community over in Lithuania, for example, and they started importing Fosters, you wouldn't, or I hope you wouldn't, judge British beer on Fosters or some other shit like that, Carlin maybe. But that's why I'm not really gonna take or read much into it on the strength of the beers that I've tasted. Now, I've actually tasted quite a few from the Baltic regions. The Latvian beer was probably the best one out of the lot. It was a cloudy, what I perceived to be a Keller beer, and it was quite nice. The other ones that I've tried, just okay, mediocre to pretty poor. There's not been an outstanding one that I've tried so far. I live in hope. I don't think I'm going to get it, to be honest. If it's going to be outstanding, I don't think it's going to be widely available here. And even if it is, I imagine the standards are not going to be as good as it is in Lithuania, because potentially the beer doesn't travel well. So, with that in mind, I will just tell you a quick bit about the brewery. They've been going since 1794, and they're quite a popular brewery in Lithuania. I think they're the second biggest beer producer. I could be wrong on that one. I've tried one of theirs before. I think it was just the normal lager, and yeah, underwhelming, to be honest. So hopefully this is going to be better. Now, it's a Pilsner and it's amber. I'm hoping that it's going to be something like a Czech Pilsner, but we shall see. Let's get it investigated. Now, this is 500ml. In the cans, you get a full pint, you get 568, but in the bottles, you're just getting a 500ml. Now, that's a lie. It says a pint on the back. It's not a pint. That's 500ml. That is just under a pint. The ingredients: water, barley malt, barley, hops, and yeast. Oh, they've managed to include the yeast in this. Normally they don't do that. Most manufacturers, most brewers don't do that when they list the ingredients. And to be honest, I think there's other stuff gone into these as well when they list the ingredients, but I have no evidence for that. I've just tried it was another Lithuanian beer, which was very sweet. It was like a bock beer, 5.7%. It was okay, but it was a little touch on the sweet side. And I think they added glucose to it, glucose syrup, or some sort of sweetener to it. Didn't list it on the ingredients, but I can only go what's on the ingredients, so I'm gonna assume that there was no additives. But I know there was, deep down. Anyway, let's stop talking bollocks. Let's get this open and let's see what's going on. Where is ye olde cap lifter? There is the cap. That Švyturys, I think that's how it's pronounced. That means lighthouse in Lithuanian. Švyturys, I don't know. I can't even begin to pronounce that. Anyway, let's get in the glass. See what's going on. Wow, lively. Very lively indeed. Look at the carbonation on that. It's huge. Now, I thought this was an amber beer, but it ain't that amber to me. It looks like a Helles. What are we getting on the nose? Nothing. The stench of macro brewed beer. Marston's would be so proud. Can't go over that carbonation. Fucking huge. Now on their website they make a big thing about it having nice hops aroma. Pilsen grade malt. I don't know what that is. Pilsen grade malt. Pilsner malt, is that what they're trying to say? I don't know. God, that doesn't smell of anything. I don't think this is going to be a good one. Damn. I wasn't expecting it to be anyway, but as I always say, the proof is in the tasting. So let's get it down the hatch and see what's going on. Bottoms up. Wow, it tastes of nothing. That's some feat. This is up there with the Tiskia. That is another beer that tastes of absolutely nothing. No, not getting a thing. I'm wondering whether this is just a little bit too cold. But they've called it an amber beer. Why have you called that an amber beer? It looks fuck all like an amber beer. That looks like a Helles. Or a Pilsner even. And they're saying this is supposed to be a Pilsner. Well, actually they're saying it's supposed to be a fucking amber beer. That is not amber at all. And I think, is it Lithuania? Or one of the Baltic regions where amber is abundant. The gemstone amber. Is it a gemstone? I don't know. But it's from around the Baltic regions that amber is quite abundant. I bet it don't look like that. It tastes of nothing. I'm really struggling. One thing I will say, it's got quite a nice mouthfeel. It's quite light. It doesn't taste of anything. That could be one of them little French dumpies that you get on the booze cruises. You know, the 2% fucking little dumpies that you get from France. This is the beer equivalent of celery. It tastes of fuck all, and you'll probably put on more weight drinking it, trying to find a flavour, than you would from actually fucking drinking it. It's some feat to be able to brew a beer that tastes of absolute jack shit. And what am I getting? I'm getting nothing. A metallic tinge, that is all I'm getting. A little bit of grassy. No, it's fucking minuscule. This is something Marston's would be proud of. It's 4.6%. Fuck me. Well, if you wanted a palate cleanser, or just something to quench your thirst, refresh you on a really hot day, and you didn't really care about flavour, yeah, this would be okay. But I like a bit of flavour with my beer, and I ain't getting no flavour with this. There's nothing. There is fuck all. I just can't get anything. So what's the verdict on Švyturys amber beer? Amber lager beer. If you want a beer that tastes of nothing, if you don't like the taste of beer, this is the beer for you. Because it tastes of nothing. I can't give you any description of the flavour, because there is no flavour. It's just fucking nothing. There's just no flavour. I can't get anything. I thought Tiskia was the only beer that tasted of nothing. Well, it's got a competitor now, and it's this shit. Does it have a place? Yes. If you just want something that you can chug, you don't want to be, well, I don't understand people that do this, but they don't want any flavour in their beer. They literally just want a palate cleanser. I imagine this would go with food. If you don't want any beer flavours with your food, which again I don't understand, but yeah, a palate cleanser with a reasonable light mouthfeel and very drinkable, but there's no flavour. And this is the whole point. This is the reason I do this channel, is to give you some information of what beer tastes like, and I like to describe the flavours to you, and I like to describe why beer tastes like it does, and the ingredients and the differing types of ingredients that will give you, and the different methods of brewing that will give you the different flavours and distinguish between different styles of beer. And this just, I don't know. I really don't know. If you like lager shandy and you want to make your own at home, this is perfect. But why are they bothered? Who in the brewery tasted this and said, yes, this is acceptable, we will put this out as a product? Now, I'm not a brewer. Obviously, I don't own a big brewery, but if somebody came up to me and said, I've got a brilliant recipe for a beer, right, let's brew it, let's see. And I tried it, and we call it amber beer, I'd say, right, you're a fucking twat. Number one, that is not amber. Number two, that tastes of fuck all, And number 3, you've just wasted a load of fucking malt and hops, and you've managed to fucking get a beer that tastes of nothing, which is a feat in itself. I mean, I wouldn't say you have to be skilled. You have to be some sort of fucking bellend to put all the ingredients and come up with nothing. I mean, I'm not going to say hats off to them, because the end product is just fucking boring. Some people will like that though. That'll be a nice summertime beer. If you don't want to think about flavour, you just want to chug and chug. Yeah, but that ain't for me. That ain't my style. So, in my opinion, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10, and it's getting 3 for the reasonably light mouthfeel, and it's quite refreshing. This is cold, and I can imagine this being quite refreshing. But flavour, you're getting a big fat fucking 0, because there is no flavour. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10, and I'm being fucking generous with that 3. This is just a waste of fucking time if you're into your flavour in your beer. You know, it's a palate cleanser. It's a beer to have between different styles of beer. It will just cleanse your palate, but not stop you from drinking. 4.6%. Yeah, you can drink it all day. Why fucking bother? 3 out of 10. Not recommended. And remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you don't have to.